Student Affairs Functional Area Presentation, Career Services by Elizabeth, Danny, Robert, Lisa, and Naya. Before there were career centers on college campuses, faculty assumed the responsibility of mentoring their students and preparing them for future employment. Career guidance in higher education can be traced back to the emergence of vocational guidance in the early 1900s and the creation of Frank Parsons' first career center, the Vocations Bureau, in the Civic Service House in Boston, Massachusetts, a public service entity that helped new immigrants transition to life in America. In the 1970s and 1980s, higher education shifted into a development model which placed the responsibility of learning and educational outcomes on the student. This paradigm shift forced students to take ownership of their own career development and job search, and recruiters to manage their own matching process. This allowed career centers to step back into the guidance space with more emphasis on counseling, career planning, and job search preparation. In the 1990s and 2000s, the dot-com boom increased the competition for candidates on college campuses, which helped re-engage career centers in employer relations and helped transform them into comprehensive career services offices that facilitated the relationship between students and employers through various networking career events and recruiting activities. In this new era of employability accountability for colleges and universities, the assessment focus will continue to be about first destinations and lifelong professional outcomes. Similar to the last four paradigm shifts of college career services in the 20th century, the current transformation in career services requires the acquisition of additional resources, elevating the leadership of career services to higher levels of influence, designing new and creative organizational structures, and establishing stronger coordinated campus partnerships. As career centers gain more influence in their campus communities and become better resources and more connected to all their stakeholders, they will be better equipped to engage students early and often within their communities, offer them specialized career development support, and connect them to internship and employment opportunities as well as mentoring and experiential learning. With growing accountability in higher education and the opportunity to activate a wide network of stakeholders, this current paradigm positions career services to play a critical role in the recruitment, retention, and postgraduate success of students. Career Services has faced many changes since the first career center in the 1900s and will continue to change in the years to come. Karen Eichel from the University of Northern Colorado brought up many future issues that she believes career services will face. In recent years, career counseling seems to be shifting away from operating as a placement center and moving towards career coaching. While this isn't necessarily an issue on the surface, this could impact career services' already declining employment rate of new graduates. Students across the U.S. are finding that the job market is not as welcoming as they are led to believe while in college. On top of an already declining job market, students are oftentimes not given the skills necessary to be successful in finding employment straight out of college, such as resume guidance and interview training. The shift toward more individualized career coaching should begin to help remedy some of these issues. Job functionalities and benefits are pieces of education for students that Karen hopes will be the future of career services, as many students post-graduation do not know what a competitive salary is, or how to read a 401k, or even what their benefits package really means. Other behind-the-scenes logistics of a job would include how to pay taxes on a job and how to fill out new hire paperwork. Another issue facing career services are the large-scale changes to the job market in general. More employers are moving towards hiring their employees as private contractors, Over the last decade, freelancers and contract work have grown by 50%. There has also been a boom in alternative work, such as Uber, Grubhub, and TaskRabbit. The changing nature of work will require career services to change the way they prepare students for their submersion into the workforce. Advancements in technology is yet another issue that career services will have to adapt with. Many jobs are streamlined by new technology, making some jobs obsolete. Career services will have to adapt to these changes and be able to guide students successfully to other alternatives. Two recognized industry leaders in career services are Wake Forest University and Clarkson University. In an area where placement rates are a key measurement, these two institutions have impressively high placement rates. At Wake Forest, 97% of graduates are employed or in graduate school within 6 months of graduation. Career preparation is an integral component of campus culture, and Wake Forest has embraced the use of technology in their practices. Clarkson undergrads have a 97% placement rate and an average starting salary of almost $61,000, while their graduate students have a 98% placement rate and an average starting salary of over $76,000. The two leading career services professional associations are the National Association of Colleges and Employers and the National Career Development Association. NACE is the leading source of information on the employment of the college-educated and forecasts hiring trends in the job market, identifies best practices and benchmarks, and tracks starting salaries, recruiting practices, and student outcomes. The National Career Development Association provides professional development, publications, standards, and advocacy to practitioners and educators who inspire and empower individuals to achieve their career and life goals.